Hi, this is Murray from Second Time Tech, and today I'm going to be talking about my studio and resetting it up a different way, and I'm also going to be talking about my system computer for the studio and the den, because now I only have one system, so I have to share it between the two. And so I'm just going to talk about my final overclock and my final memory timings on it, and then I'm going to tell you a few things about it and what the way I'm going to use it, and then about my studio. So first, what I'd like to say is the CPU overclock is set to 4.0 gigahertz, and it's at 1.415 volts. And the memory timings I got to was 13, 14, 14, 30, and T1 timings. The rest of the stuff I put back on automatic. It seems to work best on there. I was having a bit of a problem with the mem test. The Prime 95 ran fine, but the mem test kept giving me errors, and the only way I seemed to get rid of it was whenever I put all the other stuff back on to auto mode. So that's what I did. So I ran Prime 95 for about 3 hours. So that means it's rock solid. And for the mem test, I ran it for 1438%, which is over 1,000. So it's fine the way it is too. So I can run it like that pretty much forever if I wanted to, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. That's the way I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to change it anymore because, like I said, I've been trying for weeks now, so that's the best that I can do. Now, the reason why I'm leaving it there is because on my last video, it was 19 minutes long, and the render time was 4 minutes and 25 seconds. So I do my ratio, which is basically what it is, the difference between what the time of the video was to the render time. And the render time was 23.4% of the video length. So that means that it rendered more than 4 times faster than what the video length is. So that's actually, to me, very good. So I'm happy the way it is there right now. The Cinebench scores, I ran it for the last time at the overclock and memory timings tightened mode. And it is 1786 for max, and for the average of 5 times it's 1786. So they're both exactly the same, and I tried it a few times over just to make sure, and it is. So I think I ran it 3 times, and this was the numbers that I came up with. Anyway, now basically the way I'm going to use it is because it's my only computer and I have to use it for my den computer and the studio computer. I've decided that when I'm running it as a studio computer, I'm going to run it in CPU overclock mode and memory tightened timings mode. And I did a profile in BIOS to set it up like that. And then I made another profile, and all I did was I put the CPU back in automatic mode so that it runs standard or out of the box mode. And the reason why I did that is because for most of the time it's fine for what I'm using. The only time that I need the overclock mode is whenever I'm doing my studio work and my rendering and my video editing, my audio editing and stuff like this. So to save wear and tear on the CPU, I decided, well, if I'm only running like maybe 8 to 12 hours a week on studio time, and the rest of the time it's using it as my den computer, then I don't really need to be running it in overclock mode, and because it lowers the voltage and lowers the CPU frequency, then it'll actually make my CPU last longer. So to me, it just made a bit more sense to do that. And then whenever I do need it to go as fast as it can, then we'll put it in that mode for my studio work. Because whenever I'm, like, say, researching and typing up my notes for the shows and stuff like this and whatnot, regular mode's fine for the CPU. But I don't want to touch my memory timings. I'm leaving those the same because it does speed up the computer somewhat anyway. So that's basically what I'm going to do for that. Now, when it comes to the studio, I got myself my new desk, which is right there. And that's going to be put right here. And then this table is going to be going over in the corner. And I'm going to be doing a little second area so that I can show some of the things that I'm working on. And I'll be using my other camera, the one that's on my smartphone. And I had told you this already before, I'm pretty sure. And so I'm going to set it up over there, and then that way there I can show a few things and put the video in there and whatnot, and be able to have something a little more interesting rather than just you sitting, you watching me sit here and talk. I'll be actually able to show you a few things too. So that's in the works. So I have that to do. And then what I'm going to be doing is changing my studio computer from the case that it's in now, which is the Thermaltake, I think it's the Versa 21, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, sorry, Versa N21. I can see the box from here. And then what I'm going to be putting it back in is the Roseville Cullen. And the reason why is because I find I'm getting better temps in that one than I am in this one. Than the Thermaltake. The Roseville seems to run the temperatures a little bit lower. So I'm going to do that. And I don't know if I was talking about this on the channel or not. What I'm going to do is my what's it called there? The Deep Cool Captain 2400. I found that it wasn't doing as good at bringing the temperature down as my smaller, was it Liquid Master? Oh, sorry, Master Liquid 120, and it had the two fans with push-pull. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get more of those Arctic fans, the PWM fans. I'm going to get 4 more of those, and I'm going to change the fans on the Captain 240EX to those and put them in push-pull and see if the cooler does better that way. So I'm going to do like a little test on that just to see, and if it does, then I'm just going to leave it that way, and I'll leave that one on the CPU, because like I say, it is a bigger rad, so it should work better. So hopefully that'll fix it up. And I know they use those fans on the coolers because Arctic also sells coolers. They're fairly expensive actually, and basically what it is, well, it's more expensive than the Deep Cool. And they have those exact same fans on there, so that's why I'm sure that they'll work fine on it. But like I said, with the extra 2 fans, I'm going to see if it'll work like that much better. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do on that one. Well, that's it for today. And if you like the video, thumbs up. If you don't like the video, thumbs down. If you like the content, please subscribe. If you want notifications, you do have to click the bell. And I do want to wish everybody a wonderful week. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Bye.